That's the difference. If you want to go in an organization which is, paying you very high or giving you kind of a very innovative work,
It is the most important aspect of your life.
it depends where you want to go.
What they are doing and how they are doing and what they are not doing.
Okay, not the drunk happy. Right?
Yeah.
You enjoyed 4 years. You have not built yourself for the industry. It's a way what they want to communicate about themselves to the world, to the recruiters,
So how can we relate it to the industry?
and that is also not good that you are just studying all the time and you are not discrete mathematics. Hello everyone. I'm Arun.
I'm Anuj and welcome to the podcast. And today we are going to discuss about how should a CS or IT undergrad student should spend their 4 to 5 years of college duration to have a better paying and a satisfactory career options in industry after their college. So hi Arun.
Yeah, hello. So this is something which we discussed last week, that there are many students who want to understand what they can do in 4 years or how they can utilize.
Yeah.
Right. So I have drafted few points and which we can tell the students. Hopefully it will help them.
Yeah. Let's begin. So what do you have in your bucket for that?
Okay. So first point which I want to advise to the students, or first focus area, they should try to enhance their software skills.
Okay, so like being a student, we generally focus on the core subject, theoretical subject. So how does that software part come into your academics?
Okay, so there are different parts of it. First part is you can try to focus on your core subjects, right?
Got it.
So like computer architecture, operating system, data structures, OOPS and UML, discrete mathematics. This is an important subject if you want to go to the machine learning and AI, right?
Yeah.
So you can focus on these core subjects, not just these core subjects. You can figure out what are the core subjects offered by your universities. You can take help from your teachers or seniors to understand what are the core areas. So having a very strong understanding of the fundamentals is very important, and all the complex systems are built upon these fundamentals, right? So first thing a student should do is they should try to focus on the core subjects to build upon their fundamentals. This is the first part, and there comes the next part, that is the programming languages, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So there are types of companies, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, right? So all the companies which are doing really good job, and good job in the sense they are trying to build something new, they are trying to bring some new technologies to the market, or they are trying to kind of change the whole world, how things are interacting. A lot of technologies, a lot of use cases are coming up, right? So all those organizations look for the students who are very strong in the core fundamentals. If they are very strong in them, they can learn anything new. They can use these core basic concepts to build something new. So that's why these strong fundamentals are very much required, right?
Yeah, these are the like basic bones of any bones of any software development industry,
right? So, and there comes the next part, that is the programming languages. A student can focus on programming language. They should focus on programming languages, because once you understand the concepts, you want to develop something, right? So in programming languages, students can try to develop web apps. They can pick up any language of their choice: Java, Python, JavaScript, maybe Node, or anything they want to pick up.
Okay.
They should try to, I think, understand how it works in depth, what are its strengths and what are its weaknesses.
Okay, so like as a student, what should be my criteria to pick up a language? So like whether I should go with Java or with Python, and how do I relate it with the industry in college? Like especially if we are talking about some mini projects or something on that line. So how can we relate it to the industry?
See, whether it's Java, Python, or all the new languages, they are relevant to the market, right?
Okay.
They are. It's not like that Java is very much in demand and Python is not. Every language has its strong areas and its weaknesses, right? So, students should try to figure out which language is very much attractive to them, where they want to go, right? So no need to bother much in which language you should learn, which language you should not, whether you should learn C, Python or Java. Irrespective of that, pick up any language of your choice which you like. Okay, try to understand its strengths and weaknesses. Once you understand one language, it's very easy for you to pick up another language. So it do not matter much at that point of time, right? Just pick up something and build your concepts around it. Important thing is, try to use that language. Try to develop web apps, mobile apps, maybe how that language is using design patterns, right? They can contribute to the open source projects.
Okay.
Right? Every language has a lot of open source projects, so they can contribute to those languages.
Okay.
So programming language is an important area. But basically, what happens that there are organizations where they just look for some programming languages and basic concepts, and they hire you. And there are other organizations which, grill you on your strong core fundamental subjects.
Okay.
That's the difference. If you want to go in an organization which is, paying you very high or giving you kind of a very innovative work, in that cases, you should focus on your core subjects also. Right?
Yeah.
Do not undermine them, right? So that's the difference. If you are strong in core subjects, you can tackle the interviews of the core companies or the companies which are doing something good. If you understand programming language, there are a lot of organizations, they will hire you, they will give you a project, they will give you a language, use it, build something, fix bugs or do some enhancements. So it depends where you want to go.
Exactly.
Right. And there is another area where students can focus on. They can try to build up specialized skills like artificial intelligence, machine learning. Right. These are new domains: data science, cloud, and many universities, I think, are offering the courses in these specializations.
Yeah, there are courses offered, and most of the groundwork for these technologies came from some lab of some universities. So I think it can be a good starting point. Doesn't matter in which university you are, but if you want to learn, you can make use of the infrastructure that is available to you, and you can study about it and do some gain some practical knowledge on that.
Right. So that's why I said that building the software skills, right? It is very important.
So like you just need to focus on your core subjects along with the application of those subjects.
Right. Application is the most important thing.
Okay, understood. That was a good point.
Right.
So what's next in your bucket for these students?
So next is communication skills.
Okay.
And why it is important?
I think communication is important everywhere, like irrespective of the industry. I think it is the most important aspect of your life.
Right.
So whether it's professional or personal, communication is the key.
Yes, and especially in the industry or in any part of your life, right? If you cannot communicate well, there are a lot of gaps.
Yes.
Right. So it is an important aspect. And if I see a lot of students, they are good in programming skills.
Yeah.
They understand things really well.
Technically, they are at par with the good people. Like they
Right.
have good skills. They have a scope of improvement. They have a scope to build upon it, but they lack somewhere in communication. They generally have problem in explaining their thoughts to other people,
Right.
or sometimes even understanding what other is trying to convey.
Yes. So, if I know something and if I cannot explain it to you or explain it to my team or explain it to my seniors or maybe my colleagues, my teammates, then my knowledge is not much helpful to them.
Yeah, because it's stopping you from implementing it.
Yes. And when we build huge softwares or when we work as part of team, that communication is very important.
Correct.
Right. You can have a different style of communication, but you should be able to communicate.
Yeah.
Right. So, a student should try to understand whether they have a very good communication skills or not. If they do not have, they should focus upon building it, upon it. And effectivity of the communication is very important.
Yeah.
Right. You are talking a lot, but it's not effective. You are not conveying the meaningful message. It's not useful. Right.
Yeah.
So you should have a good conversation. You should be able to convey what you want very clearly.
Yeah.
So, and if you do not build upon these skills, of course, you know a lot of things, but chances are less that you will be able to crack an interview, right? They can crack. It's not. I'm not saying they will not be able to crack the interviews, but somewhere, if there are two person with the same skill set, one is having very good communication skills, so chances are that the one with the good communication skill is going to be hired fast.
Yeah.
Right.
Because like a good communication skill give you a leverage over other people who doesn't have that skill, and it gives you more. It opens up new areas of employment for you. There are certain jobs where their success depend on their communication skill.
Absolutely.
So it opens up new areas for you as well.
Absolutely. And especially in industry, it's very important that communications are very clear.
Yeah.
Right. You need to communicate clearly to the team who is waiting for the deliveries. You need to communicate things clearly to the customers. Right. So initially you may not be directly communicating with the team, but now since there are a lot of startups, a lot of small organizations, so maybe
and this remote thing, like where you are not present with each other physically, so you have to explain yourself over calls and over web calls and all that. So it put more emphasis on the communication capability.
Right. In remote culture, this has become a critical part that you should be able to communicate. Otherwise, there is no other way of communication these days when you are working from home, right? So this is important area. And another thing related to communication skills, I would say somehow that they can try to build their professional profile.
Yeah.
Right. It's a way what they want to communicate about themselves to the world, to the recruiters, to the open world, right? So they should try to build their professional profile. They should try to enhance their technical writing skills.
Yes, it's a new and highly in-demand thing.
Right. They can read something and then they can try to write it back so that somebody can read it and understand what's going on.
Yeah, as we know that documentation is very critical and most neglected part in software industry.
Right. Yeah. And this is very important, really. Right. So, you want me to move to the next point?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So, next point which I have in my bucket is practice. You should
practice what exactly?
Okay. So, practice a lot, whatever you study.
Okay. So like it is related to that application part that we discussed earlier, that whatever core subjects you are going through, programming languages you are going through, you need to implement them, you need to work on the application of it.
Yes. So basically when I study something, it looks like I know everything, but after some time I will forget everything.
Yeah,
right.
It happens.
When time comes, everything is gone. So only way to retain that knowledge is you should practice a lot. If you are learning a programming language, practice it. Write as many as programs you want. Try to build applications around it. Right. If you are learning data structures, practice them. How different use cases are solved using those data structures. right? So this is a very important area. And there are so many online platforms these days. You just log in, try to solve as many as problems you can.
Yeah, they are like competitive programming hackathons.
Right.
These sort of platforms are available nowadays, like, and people do make use of it. And those big companies, like the top-notch IT companies, they also give uh, in their selection procedure, they have this sort of thing. They do judge on such programming skills.
Yes. I think all these platforms gives some kind of ratings also, and when you have a high rating, people connect with you. HRs try to connect with you. Different organizations try to connect with you if you are open for a position, or if you want to work with them. So just do not wait for the campus that some recruitment will happen. Build your skill set, participate in these things, and people will connect with you even when your college is not complete.
Correct.
Right? It will open up so many arenas for you, right?
Correct.
And build your own source code repositories. Use GitHub or some other platforms. Write your code, push it to the repositories, and give it to someone else for the review, or somebody else can use it if it's a very good code, right? And try to experience some real world software projects.
Correct.
Right? Contribute to open source projects.
Yeah, understood.
And you can do internships also.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the most practical way to learn things.
Yes, it brings you, I think, close to the real world. You have an opportunity to talk to the people who are working in the industry, or see how industry is working.
Yeah.
So don't waste your internships. Don't just go to the office, have some coffee in the cafeteria and come back. Right?
Make use of it, like whatever opportunity you have got.
Make use of it.
Interact
Don't
with
waste
people, see what they are doing and how they are doing and what they are not doing.
Right.
So it's a good learning opportunity, but normally people take it as that you need a certificate at the end. So,
yes.
So rather, we should not, or a student should not be doing that. It's just you have an exposure to the industry, but you are not answerable for anything if it goes wrong. So it's you can keep your eyes and ears open and learn.
Right.
Without any side effects of anything, if anything goes wrong.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's a good opportunity, and they should really try to focus on these things.
So moving ahead, what we have next?
Next point is students can try to build their hobbies.
As a student, like, hobbies vary from sports, from like extracurricular activities to n number of things. So any specific area? I think hobbies are individual's choice. You can't really like look at the market and say, okay, I'm going to make this my hobby. So
hobbies is not just that you want to get into the industry, but it's about building your personality, your persona, or balancing your life.
Yeah.
You need not to just die reading books or practicing something. Okay, you need a fresh brain.
Yeah.
So instead of just sitting and cribbing about something in your free time and blaming someone for something and all, you should invest your time constructively. Build some hobbies, play some sports, music, dancing, traveling, right? You should do all such activities which make you happy.
Correct.
Okay, not the drunk happy.
Got it.
Right. So it will bring a balance in a student's life.
Use your time constructively, like.
Yes.
It is not necessary that you are always into academics, you are always thinking about your career, what will you be doing after 4 years. So you just need to have constructive usage of time, whatever time you have left apart from academics and college. So use it some for the development of your personality. Like later on, even if you have joined the industry, that will help you. Like people normally do running, hiking, and workouts, and learning new skills. Whether it can be painting, or there are so many things coming up nowadays. So many new areas to learn. So I think key is to use your time wisely, not to just spoil it.
Yes. I just want that when you are studying, it's perfectly fine. But when you are not studying, what you are doing? Are you using it constructively or positively, or you are spending it in some negativity? So don't do that, or don't spend your time on negativity. Build something, build your hobbies, do something, learn guitar, anything you want to do. Overall, it's your personality, right? When you are in a course, it's not just that what you have studied, but how as a person you have come out of that course.
Yeah, exactly. Like 4 years is a long duration, and you need to have your own identity after that, and that 4 year will transform you.
Yes.
Coming from a school and like staying, most of us stay away from the families, from the comfort of home. So it will transform you. So make sure that transformation is in positive side. You have not gone back at what level you were in your school time.
They can do part-time jobs also.
Yeah. That will give them the real experience of how real world works.
Yes, how money works.
Yeah.
Yes, it's an interesting area. If someone is interested, they can go for it.
Yeah. It brings some sense of responsibility of your action, consequences of your actions, like you become aware of it. So it really helps, not in your career, but in your personal life as well. If you are aware of your consequences or consequences of your action, then you will be a bit more mature, I believe.
Yes, and it will help you grow in industry or in personal life, in any area. And these 4 years, you have a lot of time to work upon such, your personality development.
Yeah.
So it's important. Okay, so next thing which I want to talk about is management skills.
Management skills as a student, like this is something I'm curious to know about it.
So management is generally seen as some kind of manager or something like that.
Yeah,
okay,
it's sort of a job title.
Yes, but it's much more than that. If you have management skills to manage maybe your time, maybe your money, right? These are something which not just a manager or someone who is at a management designation require. Everyone needs it. So you need to understand. So time management is something very important for a student.
Yeah.
If you are kind of partying and you are just not worrying about your career or the things which you have to do to help you reach your goal, then that is also not good. And that is also not good that you are just studying all the time and you are not spending time on your overall personality, right? Academics is just one area, but for like communication skill, building hobbies and lot of things, right? That's a complete package. These are the things which are very much required for a better career or better career options, right? Better personality development. So you need to understand how to manage the time between different things.
Yeah.
So time management is important thing, and I think there are a lot of different aspects of management. Students can try to host the events, like quiz.
There are so many fests and those nowadays. Every college has different societies for different scope of interest, like whether you're into coding, you are into some robotics, or if you're into like cultural fest and all that. There are societies, and college are giving you exposure on how to manage and host events and how to plan. So I think that can be a good area to like get practical understanding of things.
Right. It will help them build their interpersonal skills.
Yeah.
They will understand that, okay, if there is something which needs to be done, so there is a task and there is a deadline, and you just need to understand how to get it done. You need to figure out the solutions. If there is something which needs to be completed and you are stuck, you cannot just remain stuck. You need to build up an attitude that how to get it done.
Yes.
And until and unless you face such situation, it's not easy to build such kind of skills, right? So that's why I'm saying management skills are very important. And if they are organizing some events, maybe tech events or something like that, or maybe they are kind of trying to build a software as a team, maybe 4 or 5 people, they are in a group and they want to build something.
Correct.
So they need to manage different parts of the software development life cycle also.
Correct.
So management skills is a kind of a bigger picture. They need to understand how to manage different aspects of life, of college, of studies, of everything. Right?
Yes.
So that's why I'm saying management skills.
There are so many deadlines. You have to submit your assignments, you have to attend your test, you have to submit your reports, and apart from that, if you are managing other things as well, like your fest and events as well, so it will give you a better idea like how it will prepare you for upcoming things in your life when you have so many things going on and everything needs to be done at within a certain time limit.
Right, and it becomes more important because as you said about assignments and classes or lectures, every student is attending the lectures.
Yeah.
Maybe if you are bunking here and there, but most of them are attending.
Correct.
Right. Most of them are submitting the assignments also. I would say majority of them are submitting the assignments also. And if just classes and assignments are consuming your whole time, then it means you do not have time to build your personality, you do not have time to build your other skills, which are expected by the industry.
Yeah.
So when they are expecting something, it's not just because they want something. It's because they also understand that they have a lot of candidates which are managing these things really well.
Correct.
So someone is expecting because some people are having those skills, and when some people are having those skills, they are managing their time well, right? It means some of them are not able to manage their time well. That's why they are just focused on your classes and lectures, and that's it.
Correct. That's the bare minimum that you have to do.
That's the bare minimum you have to do. Right, so it's like you are forced to do something.
Yeah.
So don't do that part. Manage a lot of things.
That's a really good and different perspective about management.
Yes, and we generally, get to learn all these things when we start job.
Yeah.
Right.
So moving ahead, what do we have next?
So this is the last area, sixth one. There is a mistake which we all do, or which majority of us do. I would not say all, majority of us do. We are so much engrossed in our friend circle, in our batchmates, that we do not care about who our seniors are, who are the alumni, who are the people who are already working in the industry. We are just in a different world.
Yeah, like we generally don't tend to think on those lines. We think, okay, so this is the guy with whom we can spend some time, we can have good time, like chit chat and all that. So we don't focus on that part, like, okay, so he was our senior, he or she was our senior, and now she's doing good in that particular industry, so let's reach out to those people, because someone who is in industry may not have that inclination anymore, or may not have time to reach out to the juniors in college. So I think it becomes the responsibility of juniors or the people who are still in college to reach out to their senior, like how is it going and what should I be doing to have a better prospect in industry.
Yes. And it's always not possible that someone will come and tell you that, okay, do this, don't do this, right? It's my responsibility. If I want to take my career seriously, I will reach out to those people. if I do not want to take it seriously, I won't go. I will not care about them. So basically, these are the 4 years which are supposed to make me ready. Make me ready, or I would say, which are supposed to make me industry ready.
Yeah, industry ready is the term.
Right. And I do not know anyone in the industry. I do not want to talk to the people who are somewhere more close to the industry.
Yeah.
And I want to be industry ready. So how is it possible effectively?
Yeah, in any industry it won't work out. It will work out, but you will miss out on certain things.
Right. So once you will join the industry, then you will try to understand a lot of stuff. Okay. So my point is simple. When you have your 4 years, okay, try to connect with the people. Try to understand where is the industry going. Don't be surprised in your final semester that, okay, real world is something different.
Yeah, be prepared for that.
Be prepared for that. So don't waste time in unnecessary stuff. I see, when I was in college, only advice I used to listen to was, my friend circle.
Yeah.
They have not achieved anything in life. I have also not achieved anything in my life.
At that point
And we
of
are
time.
talking about life.
At that point of time.
Yes, at that point of time, we were like, we are not doing anything, just attending the lectures, submitting the assignments, spending time in cafeterias, and we are talking to each other that what is good, what is not good, and we are out of touch of the real world.
Yeah.
So it's like illogically we are talking about
Yes.
a lot of stuff. So don't do that stupidity. Talk to the people, and it will really help you. It will give you a perspective that how a real world works. And when you connect with these people who are in the industry, maybe they are alumni also, they give you a different perspective of the things. Maybe you have an idea, you want to build an app around it, but you are not just getting the confidence.
Correct.
But when you talk to these people, they can give you the confidence. They can give you the right resources.
Correct.
So it opens up a lot of career options also.
Correct.
Right? Instead of just figuring out a job, you may end up starting a startup.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
also a possibility. Being an employee is always not an option.
Yes.
There are certain other things that you can do.
Right.
Even if you're going for the higher studies, you are going for your own stuff, if you want to take a break or something. But if you have your basics, fundamentals in place, you will certainly not waste that time.
Right.
Even after your academics are done.
Right. And it's very easy to get in touch with these industry people right now.
Yeah.
You can use platforms like Twitter or maybe LinkedIn. Right? You can directly reach out to the people, ask for their help, their suggestions.
Yeah.
Right. So instead of spending time on Instagram, Snapchat, or WhatsApp, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying WhatsApp or other platforms are useless. They are useful, but spend some time on these platforms also, where you are more closer to the real world. So
yeah, and nowadays LinkedIn has become really good. Like if you want to look for the opportunities in any other part of the world, if you want to look for the people who are working with certain industry,
yes,
and certain whatever the new upcoming technologies are. So I think now LinkedIn has really become at your one point of information, one source for information, like where you can get the updated thing of whatever industry you are, not just the software industry, but whatever industry you're part of, you can get a good insight of it, just looking at the trends and the new things that are coming up.
Yes, and there are a lot of platforms which tell you about the organization also. The feedback, the reviews, right? It gives an idea that how good or how bad a particular organization is. So just be more aware. And when you connect with these people, they give you ideas that, okay, how to connect to the real world. So that's why I'm saying, don't do this mistake that you are not in touch with anyone else, right? Once your college is over, your friends will be in different cities, maybe in the same city in some cases, but everyone will get busy in different thing, right? So don't just focus on that area. That should not be the only area of focus. You attend your classes, you spend time on assignments, and there is a lot of time after that.
Correct.
Build yourself.
Correct.
Right. So this is very important. So I think these are the only 6 areas. Majorly where students, if they focus on, they will have a better, professional profile, personal profile, and a balanced personality, which generally organizations look for. And they can finally end up giving you different career options, as we discussed, better opportunities. All the good organizations, they are just not looking for the software skills. They are looking for communication skills, presentation skills, a lot of skills they are looking for. So try to focus on these 6 areas, and 4-year duration is good. You cannot do everything in the last year. Start
as
doing
soon as
it
possible
from the beginning. Yes. So apart from this, I think one final advice I would like to give to the students is, either you spend these 4 years wisely, okay, or you waste those 4 years, you have fun. Whatever you want to do with those 4 years, it will decide what you are going to do the remaining of your life. If you use those 4 years to build yourself, you can have fun during your life, you will enjoy a lot of things. You will start with good organizations, good career options, you will end up meeting a lot of good people. So that growth trajectory will be different. But if you utilize these 4 years to have fun, then it's like when you are starting in the industry, you are starting from almost kind of zero, right? You enjoyed 4 years, you have not built yourself for the industry. So the moment you join the industry, you start becoming the industry ready. So it's like kind of you are starting from zero. And when you start from organizations where it depends from organization to organization, what kind of people you meet, right? And what is the growth trajectory. So it's important. Whether you want to enjoy your life or whether you want to keep on struggling for your whole life, it depends how you utilize these 4 years.
Understood.
Right.
I think these were really like basic fundamentals, but really good advice for any student who want to have a balance and a good career after their academics.
Right. And if anyone wants to understand more about a specific area, they can directly reach out to us. Maybe leave the comments, and we can try to figure out how to help them.
Yes. Like whatever doubt you guys have, or any specific or any relevant or irrelevant question you have, you can just drop a comment and we'll try to answer it as best as we can.
Yes. And stay tuned. We are coming up with a lot of interesting content. Right. So thank you everyone.
Thank you.
Have a good time.
Thank you.